Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to a Hot, Hot Planet episode of Before Coffee.
Oh.
It is our Thursdays 13. We have a list of the 13 TV theme songs that have no lyrics, and the best, according to Roger, the best.
Classic television. Nothing from this century, really.
Yeah. You might have heard of these shows
Really?
at least once. So I hope you're
Some of them have
ready
made
for
from
our
movies.
list. And we also have some general news stories. I have plenty of stories about how hot it is here in Europe as another late summer heat wave hits the continent. This is Before Coffee, the father and daughter comprehensive news of Planet Earth podcast, where we look up our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started, or in this case, do tech work 40 minutes before we've started. We've just had some
Yell at our
caffeine.
computers for 45 minutes. Yeah.
And we're learning to read live on stream, so let's get into today's headlines. Today on Thursdays 13, one dead after hot air balloon carrying 34 passengers crash lands in the Netherlands. And Greece, Spain, and Portugal race to contain wildfires as EU steps up cross-border help.
And Caribbean prepares for Tropical Storm Erin, while a armored car robbery takes place in Philadelphia, and no eggs were involved this time.
As Europe's heat waves intensify, France bickers about air conditioning.
And on Thursdays 13, we're going to talk about the best 13, in my opinion, best 13 TV theme songs and classic TV theme songs with no lyrics.
In my culture news, Time Magazine honors 10 young girls in its first ever Girls of the Year list.
And it's National Creamsicle Day, so I guess that's a weird thing to have just in the middle of a week, but that's all it is today, really, kinda. I mean, the only food. It's also National Navajo Code Talkers Day, so let's talk about that. That's more interesting than creamsicles. August 14th, 2025 on Before Coffee. The long, tortured introduction.
Okay, I actually didn't even check if we're still live on Twitch because it seemed like it disconnected right before we started.
on
But
Twitch?
no, we're good. We're good. I don't even know if the ad break still
Okay,
played.
alright.
I have no idea, but it's fine. And I'm just going to, I don't think the ad
Somebody
break
let us
played at
know.
all, actually. So that's really rude. And I'm going to have to
Flying
snooze
blind
all my
here.
ads. And we're probably going to have an ad break in the middle of the show, even though I played an ad break to avoid
How do you
that.
know?
Thanks, Amazon. I'm so glad I am using Amazon Music today so that they can disconnect my stream in the middle of it. Okay. There's my rant against Amazon.
Okay. What the hell is wrong? Well, again, it's probably the country they're trying to operate in there. Put all kinds of restrictions on them, so they said,
Alright,
okay,
it
we
could
can't do that. we can't do
100% could be my IP. My internet provider just disconnected me because it's hot
that.
and the router exploded. Sorry, we had to plug in another one.
Yeah, we had to wake up the other hamster, put it to work.
Yeah, get that hamster
Unreal.
running. I don't care if it's hot outside. I need the internet.
Spin
All
the
right,
wheel
let's roll
while
our first
mice
segue
walk
wheel
up.
before we commit more atrocities against hamsters.
Lose it. I see here in frustration.
It's ooh, what is it? It's on the line between alliteration and limerick, and it needs to tell me which one it chose. 'Cause I have no idea, and it's
It
not
doesn't?
telling me. So I guess choose.
Really?
Do you want to do an alliteration or a limerick? Because it did not tell me.
Alliteration's quicker.
Okay.
I'll do alliteration.
All right. I have two stories. The first one is very short, so definitely wouldn't have had time to write a limerick for this one.
Boy.
There has been a air balloon crash in the Netherlands, and I'm sure they're going to tell me what happened and how it occurred, or maybe they're investigating it now. This is by Charlotte van Kampenhout on The Independent. Dutch police officers stand at the scene of a hot air balloon accident near De Hoeve, which is in Friesland, which is the northern province, up there by Norway and stuff. Well, not really up by Norway, but you get the point. One person has died and 5 others sustained injuries after a hot air balloon carrying 34 passengers crash-landed violently in a meadow in Friesland, northern Netherlands, yesterday evening. So that would have been the 13th of August. Local authorities in Friesland confirmed the incident, stating that the balloon came down quickly around 9 p.m. and hit the ground hard. Well, as somebody who is not investigating this at all, my theory is that it's hot. It was hot yesterday. It's hot today. How do hot air balloons work? Well, you put a lot of hot air into a bag. In that bag, as hot air rises, the bag of hot air rises into the sky. But what I think happened is they hit a very, very warm patch where their air was not hotter than the air surrounding them. So instead of rising higher, they fell and plummeted to the ground, because once that air balloon starts falling, it's
It reminds me.
That didn't stop it.
It reminds me of a story.
Yeah,
because I'm still trying to think of a headline. I was working with a guy who was telling me the hot air doesn't actually rise, and I'm like, how do hot air balloons work? And he goes, I don't know. So you're a genius, aren't you? Don't tell me anything.
There's a physical example of how hot air rises, and you're like, I refuse to believe that exists. Wow.
It's one of these anti-science idiots. Is that I know more than anyone? Okay, I gotcha. Because I read it on the internet. The Earth is flat. Okay, no, he wasn't an Earth flat guy, but he's one of these guys who want to dispute everything I said.
I mean, I wish hot air didn't rise, because then the top floor of my house would be warm as hell during the summer. That would make me very happy. Anyways.
Yeah.
This is a very short article, so you better get that alliteration, because I only have one more.
All right.
A spokesperson for the Royal Netherlands Aeronautical Association, quoted in local media, attributed the forceful impact to a sudden gust of wind that had caused the balloon to strike the ground forcefully, making the basket bounce and leading to 5 people to falling out. Oh, dear. Police have launched an investigation into the accident. There's a picture of... And there's a picture of what looks like skid marks of the hot air balloon just like being dragged across the ground. It's just flattened. They're probably... And it looks like they have a police tape around it. This is the scene of the crime. They've got to correspond all sorts of different things with the bouncing and the wind and what the weather was. And sadly, yes, one person did lose their life. I didn't even think you could fit 34 people in a hot air balloon. I'm not sure how that works.
Hopefully it's the guy who screwed up the ballast.
Yeah.
It's the guy who screwed up the ballast, or the weight distribution is the one that paid the price. It's the shame if an innocent person died, but it's probably an innocent person.
They did say a passenger died, so.
Are you ready for my sort of funny headline for this tragedy? It says, "Big burden balloon busts." And then the next part is a question. Ballast boo-boo?
Ballast boo-boo.
Ballast boo-boo. I mean, how else do you say mistake?
Yeah. I mean, that is possible, right? Like 5 people got launched out of it, so something definitely
that sounds like fun, as long as they don't get killed doing it.
Yeah, but it sounds like one person did. They didn't confirm if one of the people who died fell out, but I assume if you fall out of a hot air balloon, you're probably the one, and like somebody on the air balloon didn't die, right? Or somebody who fell out of it. But it'd be really weird. It's like
I'm not a doctor.
They went into shock and died of a heart attack in the air balloon and had nothing to do with falling out of the air balloon. It'd be really impressive if you survived falling out.
I'm not a doctor. I just cosplay one at the emergency room. But the force of hitting the ground is probably very traumatic. I'm just going to say that. Come on, say
incredibly traumatic. In my next longer story, which will give you way more time to set up an alliteration headline. Wildfires! Yes, we were talking about the wildfires lowering down, I think, last week or the week before, but they're back again with another hot summer heat wave. This is coming out of Athens on AP News. Fire crews in Greece, Spain, and Portugal raced today to contain wildfires, taking advantage of calmer winds that slowed the blazes' advance. Much of southern Europe, however, remains at high risk under hot and dry conditions. A drop in wind speeds allowed firefighters, aircrafts, and 3 hard-hit countries to step up water drops, concentrating on existing fire zones rather than chasing fast fronts. Authorities warn that extreme temperatures are likely to persist. Spanish authorities reported the death of a 37-year-old volunteer firefighter who sustained severe burns in an area north of Madrid this week. It was the third reported death in Spain due to fires. That's right, the people going in to save your house from catching on fire are the ones taking the highest risks and sometimes paying their lives for it. Thousands of people were evacuated from their homes in the region and still can't return. In Greece, the fire service said a major blaze outside the southern port city of Patras had been contained on the outskirts of urban areas after a large-scale deployment. 3 people had been arrested in connection with the fire, which authorities said may have been deliberately set. Arson at this time of the year? That is a criminal sentence already, but life in prison. I don't know.
Assholes, man.
Yeah, really, dude, you're gonna start a fire in the middle of August during a dry heat wave. Life in prison. European Union Civil Protection Agency said and responded to requests from assistance this week from Greece, Spain, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Albania, sending firefighters, planes, and helicopters from other member states. We love supporting our fellow member states. The agency said it had already activated assistance 16 times amid this summer's wildfires as European countries have been hit by a high number of catastrophic wildfires. The number of activations for 2025 already matches the total for wildfires during the entire 2024 fire season, it said. Yay? No, that's bad. That's really bad. Hey guys, new high score? A firefight? Wait a minute, that's not good. That's not bad. That's not good that we're beating our total score of wildfires. And it hasn't been finished, right? The season is not over and we've already hit the same as last year. So, yet again, don't start any fires. Put out any fires you set. You know what? Just stay away from fire. Don't do anything, okay, please? Make sure you water stuff, get some sandbags, you know. If you have some dry bush, cut them all down and put it in a tub of water or something because they're not coming back, okay? That dry brush is dead. Just cut down. Trim your own gardens if you can. Trim your own property. Try to get rid of all that fuel for the fire. As the famous firefighter captain in that movie that I can't name right now said, "What I see is not beautiful scenery, but fuel. I see fuel."
Blowback.
Yeah. No, it was the
Was it the Kurt Russell movie with?
No, it's a more recent movie. I don't think it had Kurt Russell, but it had something cool like "Survivors Like Us." It had a cool title like that, but I can't remember the name. But that's my story.
All right.
I feel like California always gets all the highlights, all the spotlight when it comes to wildfires, where Europe is also suffering from.
Oh yeah.
People fighting.
Canada's currently on fire.
Yep.
Canada's currently on fire too. Everybody in Wisconsin seeing that stuff. New York City sees it too. Okay, so my headline's kind of short. It says, "Iberian Inferno investigated." There you go. Went for the Iberian Peninsula. Iberian Peninsula is where Spain and Portugal are on. It's Iberia. There you go. Had to explain the geography behind my headline, but there you go.
You probably didn't need to, but thank you for that anyway.
Okay, I'm just saying.
If you don't know where Iberia is, look at a map.
Iberia
I don't have time for you.
Both Spain and Portugal. They're one landmass called Iberia. Anyway.
Okay, next segue for me is a bad pun as we get into your story.
Bad pun about... Okay, so I don't think I need my glasses for this, so I need them to write. So my eye's getting better, thank you. I still got a bubble floating right here, so it makes headache. It makes double visions and headaches. Caribbean prepares for heavy rains and big waves as Tropical Storm Erin nears. This is from AP News, a short story. San Juan, Puerto Rico's officials in Northern Caribbean warned Thursday of heavy rains and dangerous swells as Tropical Storm Erin, E-R-I-N, so we make it A, B, C. The fifth tropical storm, named storm of the season. The storm is expected to remain over open waters and move northeast of islands including Antigua and Barbuda, the U.S. British and Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico seems to get always nailed with these things. According to the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Erin is forecast to become a hurricane by Friday and strengthen into a Category 3 storm by late Saturday, which would mark the first major storm this season. Erin is moving west into an area of the Atlantic primed for rapid intensification. The waters are incredibly warm, says Alex De Silva, lead hurricane expert for AccuWeather. Tropical storm force winds could occur in parts of the northern Leeward Islands and U.S. British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico this weekend, forecasters said. There is still a greater than normal uncertainty about what impacts Erin may bring to positions to the Bahamas, the east coast of the United States, and Bermuda in the long range. We don't know where it's going after this, is what he's saying.
Good luck, whoever lives out there.
They pay me a lot of money to say, I just don't know yet. So you're guessing with the rest of us where it goes. Hurricane specialist and storm surge expert Mike Lowry said nearly all models have Erin turning safely east of the broader U.S. next week. Nearly all, not all of them. Erin is the fifth named storm in the Atlantic hurricane season, which runs from June 1st to November 30th. So we got a couple of months left in it, not 3 months really, left in the hurricane season. We haven't had any really bad storms here except for flash floods, which are really terrible. But
very lucky because, of course, where you live is
major name storms.
Where you live is the largest bay in North America or whatever. A lot of water there.
Oh, and of course, we get more. People don't realize this. Baltimore, they don't measure the rainfalls, but in major cities anyway. I was looking at major cities. Baltimore, it's more rainfall than Seattle. And Seattle's known for rain.
Yeah, we talked about this before. We drew up the list and it was actually Maryland gets more rain all year long than Seattle than Washington State does.
No, it's not even all year long. It's not even all year long because I've lived in both places. Out northeast, it rains all the time. It rains all the time. Here, you get the same amount of rain, 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
it happens all year long. That's all the time.
They just dump it all out. Yeah.
Maryland is flash floods, and Seattle
very dangerous. Yeah,
constant rain. It adds up to the same amount at the end of the year. All right, so there's your. Oh, you need a pun. We need a pun.
Yes, my pun is. I'm writing a book about hurricanes and tornadoes. It's only a draft at the moment.
Oh! Hold on, we gotta hit the soundboard. I'm always sleeping on the soundboard. Oh. I hit the wrong one. Sorry. Homer.
You're just so impressed with
Homer
my
was
bad
sleeping.
pun. Yeah.
I had to wake Homer up, and he said, "Oh my God!" Instead, sorry, Homer. I know you were sleeping, man. Go back to sleep, Homer. Just don't snore.
You have another story?
Our next story.
Yeah.
We have another story about a armored car robbery. This is in Philadelphia. Happened yesterday. AP News: armed robbers take $700,000 in Fifth Philadelphia area Brinks heist since June. Are these the same stinking people? Are we just not protecting our Brinks trucks better? They're I don't know, man. It sounds like an inside job to me. But I'm not a cop. I can say anything I want. Police are investigating whether the armed robbery of a Brinks truck on Tuesday, I guess it was Tuesday, not yesterday, outside a Philadelphia area store is related to 4 other attacks on armored vehicles in and around the city. This summer possibly could be related. Well, let's not jump to conclusions. What do you think? They pulled it off and got away with it. 2 armed males got away with between $700,000 and $800,000 in the midday Tuesday heist at H Mart in Elkins Park, according to Cheltenham Township Police. The robbers, one described as armed with an AR-15 style pistol, the other with a handgun, fled with cash, and later abandoned their vehicle nearby, police said. No shots were fired and no one was injured. That's because armored car guards are like, I'm not dying for this money. It ain't my money. Right? I'll get fired before I get shot over money. I'm sorry. Here, have it all. Have all the merchandise too in the store. I don't care. Bye. Hey, have a nice day. Hopefully the cops catch you someday, but I ain't gonna get shot for it. Cheltenham Township Police Lieutenant Andrew Snyder said it is first such robbery in their township. Really? That's pretty impressive. Of course, armored car robberies are pretty uncommon. But authorities are looking into whether it may be connected to 4 robberies of armored cars in and around Philadelphia since June that police and FBI are investigating as possibly related. I think FBI probably just followed armored cars around, put little, I don't know, cameras all over them, make sure they detect every vehicle that's around there, see everybody that's, I would just say. It would be easy to catch them, I would think. If you have them occurring, anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Federal prosecutors announced Wednesday that 3 people from Philadelphia were arrested early August and were charged in connection with a $2 million armed robbery of a Brinks armored car or armored vehicle outside a Home Depot on June 21st. That's what you do. You go to the Home Depot, you wait until they're all distracted by the ICE agents that are arresting people that want to work, and then you rob the armored cars that pulls up. There you go. Brilliant plan. At Loomis armored transport vehicle, a Loomis armored transport vehicle was held up outside an Aldi in a different neighborhood 5 days later. Then on July 2nd, a Brinks truck was held up outside Dollar General at a shopping center. So it might not be an inside job because we have 2 different armored car companies getting robbed, but obviously they know their routes because they're showing up where they're doing the pickups and robbing them. They're not robbing them at the drop-offs. And on July 15th, police had reported 2 suspects robbing one of the armored vehicles in Northeast Philadelphia. FBI agent Wayne Jacobs told CBS Philadelphia that law enforcement recovered most of the money stolen from the June 21st heist, as well as a number of long weapons and handguns. Some of the money had been spent on jewelry, clothes, and other items, he said. If this is the type of activity you're going to engage in, if you look at the timeline, 6 weeks from the timeline of the incident until the time of the arrest, Jacobs said, it's just a matter of time before you're held accountable for your actions. Oh, yeah. You know, you actually have to go catch them. You can't just say, it's just a matter of time. No, you actually go catch them and arrest them, buddy. That's what you got to do. Sorry, you got to do police work. You can't just sit there and go, yep, matter of time.
We'll just follow all the armored cars. I'm sure you'll find one of them at some point.
Yeah. Of course, $700,000. He immediately spent it all on one basket of groceries.
Probably.
And
or he gave it to all his neighbors and then split it up, right? So I'm just saying, right? If you steal money from an armored car and then just give it to everyone around you, there's no way they can prove you did it, right?
And the reason you steal again from while they're picking them at merchants, because that money has really not been bankified or
it hasn't. The serial numbers haven't been scanned. Yeah.
Right. And the bank, and when the bank issues you money, like they're bringing money, it's all been, serial numbers are all been scanned. We know where this came from. They're tracking money now. They track it. They have a little chip that goes in it, especially $100 bills.
100.
I think 20s even have it now. But anyway, let's do the that's the story. That's your pun. Yeah.
Do you know if there's any fingerprints found on the scene?
No.
Well, it sounds like a stainless steel.
How?
That was a bad one, wasn't it? I've been holding on to that for a while now. Oh
boy.
You know it's bad when you don't even want to say the bad pun, but I had to.
I did manage to wrangle you a video, so hopefully you got
amazing.
It. And spin the wheel for whatever I'm gonna do.
Get your pen and paper out. It's haiku time.
All right, I guess.
This is a longer story, so it's just one story. And we're going to talk about the heat wave. Yes, I've already been mentioning it this entire day, as I'm currently inside of the heat wave. My room is not very good at getting rid of heat, so it's turning into a sauna in here. And in France, they are arguing about air conditioning. Yeah, it's not like we don't have air conditioning here in Europe. I know there's bunch of memes on Threads and Twitter and whatever social media you use that Europeans don't have air conditioning. We do have air conditioning. But unfortunately, the government might be telling you to turn it off because you're using too much power. This is on the Straits Times. Also in contention with Bloomberg, I suppose. Coming out of Paris. The culture wars have come for air conditioning, at least in France. In July, a heat wave roiled much of Europe. Feelings about air conditioning suddenly became a political litmus test. Of course, Le Pen has decided that would be her major platform to run on, even though she's not allowed to run in France's elections for 2 years because of her embezzlement charges.
Oh yeah, 2 whole years, what a punishment.
Yeah, Miss Marine Tondelier, the head of France's Green Party, scoffed at Le Pen's idea of major air conditioning equipment plan, and instead suggested solutions to warming temperatures that included greening cities. Which, fun fact, if you build trees around your house and around the area you live, those trees will absorb a lot of that heat and then it'll be cooler. It's real, it's science. And making buildings more energy efficient. So, if it gets really hot, you can set up a way in which that hot air can get out, and then your house isn't warm, and then you don't need to fill it full of cold air. Or even better, if you do have an air conditioner, that cold air can be more efficiently used instead of you just jamming it into your house and hoping the hot air goes away. An opinion essay in Le Figaro, a conservative newspaper, defended air conditioning because making our fellow citizens sweat limits its learning, reduces working hours, and clogs up hospitals. Liberation, a left-wing wing daily, encountered such arguments, writing that the technology was an environmental aberration that must be overcome, because it blows hot air into streets and guzzles up precious energy. Yet again, cover the top of your house with white so that it reflects the heat away. Right, this is why in Spain and stuff, their houses are covered in lime. Because those houses are made out of brick, but they cover in lime, and then all the hot and the heat just gets pushed away, just somewhere else. And they have a lot of trees, and then, this stuff we didn't make this shit up, right? It's been working for centuries, and suddenly we're like, that technology will solve our problems. Sometimes the only way to solve an environmental problem is with an environmental solution, not some alien technology thing to fix it. Is air conditioning a far-right thing now? One talk show asked provocatively, reflecting how divisive the issue had become. Well, it doesn't help that Americans tout their freedom to have air conditioning, which I know some people don't want to hear this, but America is right-wing. Left-wing Americans do not exist in a fundamental way. There's people who are left-wing in America, I'm not saying this, but in government-wise, the liberals are still considered right-wing in Europe, okay? So, in a way, air conditioning is a right-wing issue, I guess. While France's heated discussion of air conditioning cooled, along with temperatures in the weeks that followed, increasingly hot summers in Europe mean that the issue is not going anywhere. We've even just bought new sheets for our beds, like everyone in the house, because as the temperature gets hotter and hotter, the sheets that we use for those, mid-summer / cold winter months are just not good, right? I cannot sleep in my bed because the sheets are too warm. This is an example of how the climate in Europe is changing as we continue having climate change, and more Europeans are getting used to hot temperatures, because usually the north, especially places in Norway, probably are even getting hot, right? Famously, Norway, Sweden, Denmark do not get very warm. I had to bring a jacket, I think, when we went around in 23, I had to bring a jacket to Denmark in the middle of a heat wave in France, because it was still cold there in Denmark, but that's not going to stay the same forever. Decades ago, bickering over air conditioning might have seemed a strange thing in Europe, where there was historically little need for it, and where keeping homes warm is a top concern. But times are changing fast. Too fast. An analysis of daily temperature data from Copernicus, part of European Union's space program, shows that much of Europe is now experiencing longer periods of severe heat than it was 40 years ago. That means in somebody's entire lifetime, right? From being a child to being a midlife adult. This is not how it was when I was growing up. This is not what I was experiencing. When I was 10, this was not an issue. So while many derided air conditioning for years as unnecessary and awfully American, another reason why it's a political issue. What are you, an American? You like air conditioning? For anybody who's not an American living in Europe like I am, It is a slur. When people say, "What are you, an American?" It's supposed to be an insult. Sadly, I did grow up in America, and I can't change that fact. It's now increasingly seen as a necessity to survive scorching summers. Despite rising temperatures, only about half of homes in Italy today have air conditioning, according to Italy's National Statistic Institute. I don't know what we're talking about Italy when this was originally about France, but relatable. France is in a different climate. I'm just saying France does have access to Mediterranean temperatures, but I would argue northern France and southern Italy are totally different places. Should not be compared. But
lots and lots of different zones. It's kind of silly to think they have one climate. Yeah, you're right.
But still,
it's like
even in the place, Italy, which is known for being very, very, very warm all year round even, not a lot of them have air conditioning, and the temperatures are only getting higher. In Spain, real estate data indicates the share is roughly 40%. So 40% of real estate houses on the real estate market, houses that have been sold, 40% of them have air conditioning built in. And in France, only an estimated 20% or to 25% of households are equipped with any sort of air conditioning, according to their Agency for Ecological Transition. In 23, which is when another huge heat wave occurred, 62.5% of energy consumed by households in the EU was used to heat homes versus less than 1%, which was used to cool them, according to EU statistics. I have to agree, right? As somebody who's been living here for 8 years now, happy 8-year anniversary, it's very cold here. Like 5 blankets, cover the windows in blankets, and just I'm still shivering, right? It still gets very cold here, at least in Northern Europe. More people are heating their homes than cooling them. I have like a little, what is it called? Induction heater right above me that goes out as soon as in November, that thing will be on, just to keep my room at 20 degrees. And that is not my comfortable temperature. Comfortable temperature is 25, but that would use too much energy. So I keep it at a nice 18 to 20 and hope nobody gets angry at me when we get the energy bill. Energy costs are also unusually high in Europe than in the United States, where almost 90% of homes use some sort of air conditioning. So that's another reason, right? Another reason why Europeans don't have air conditioning, because it uses too much energy, and they're already using all their energy. Because I think you can even get like an energy, what is the word I want to use? It's like the government will subsidize your energy costs, right? They give you subsidies every year, depending on how much money you make and all sorts of other reasons, right? It goes into the taxes, okay? But if you want to use those efficiently, you're probably going to try to not freeze to death over overheating, right? If you hide in like the basement of your house in the shade, you'll probably survive the summer. But yeah, if your house is, freezing, you're probably going to die. So they try to use all their energy. Europeans, this is just a generalization from my own observations. Europeans try to save that energy subsidy for the winter, not for the summer. And so they don't have any energy costs to consume during the summertime. Just go outside and go swimming. I don't know. Yeah. Do something to cool yourself down, but don't use air conditioning.
Right. Humans a long time ago escaped the heat to get, oh my God, there's nothing growing here anymore. Let's emigrate,
Exactly.
Thousands and thousands of years ago. They drifted up north, followed the herds or whatever they were doing to get food. Right? And they say, wow, it's so moderate here. Well, that's the end of that. It's not moderate anymore.
Yeah. And of course, I don't know the entire statistics of temperatures in America, but I would say the U.S. for the most part is very moderate, right? Temperate, moderate zone. Only the far north and the far south get those extreme temperatures, right? Arizona, of course, getting up to way too hot to even go outside. And then, of course, the same with the far north of the United States, which gets very cold, below 0 temperatures and stuff like that. Negative temperatures. But most of the where people live, in cities and stuff, it doesn't get that cold or that warm.
Yeah,
so that's why they can... Sorry?
The latitudes go all the way up to 90, but most
Yeah.
people live between 45 and 0.
Yeah. So it's whereas in Europe, right? You've got people going all the way up to the Arctic, right? The people in
Yeah, they live
Norway
60,
are living
yeah.
in very cold places. People in Finland are living in very cold places, and then people all the way to the Mediterranean are living in very hot places. But
Mm-hmm. And of course, the southern hemisphere is the same thing. Most people live in places
For
where
sure.
the climate is livable, but it's just going to get hotter and hotter as you go.
yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
well, we're doomed.
We live on a planet.
Doomed.
Anyways, let me finish
Right,
this
my
article
article.
before I keep talking about it too
Oh,
long.
okay. Right.
So,
Wow.
more Americans cool their homes, less Europeans cool their homes. There 62.5% of energy consumed in households in the EU was used to heat. That's where we were. In the United States, where almost 90% of homes use some form of air conditioning, the dense architecture of European cities is ill-suited to ungainly air conditioning units. This is another argument I've always said, like, oh, why don't Europeans have air conditioning units? Where are they putting them? There's no room. There's no space to put them anywhere. In a place such as Paris, securing the necessary approvals for an old and historical apartment building to install air conditioning is very complex, and it's just too much trouble. I'll just suffer. I'll just go into my bath, sit in the bath all day, and hope I don't overheat. Air conditioning still scares some. Many still have in mind countries like the United States, where homes and shops are extremely conditioned, said Mr. Boudoun de la Verende, co-founder of Athique, a French consulting firm that helps households with energy-efficient renovations. But he said even weatherproofing would help only so much in the coming decades, when your house starts catching on fire. I'm a little saddened that the debate is often boiled down to for or against air conditioning, he added. Most people are in the middle. Air conditioning is a useful tool. Yes. As I think a lot of Europeans and maybe a lot of Americans could relate to this. Oh god, it's really hot. You know where I'm going? The frickin' grocery store. You know what's really cool? A grocery store. Let's hang out in the grocery store all day.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and cool.
Yeah. Yep. That's absolutely true. Let's go out to eat for dinner and spend all day sitting there.
Yeah.
Some grocery stores have the little you can sit it all day too. And you
Like a little cafe inside the store. Yeah, perfect.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure they make a lot of money. They better be making a lot of money. You have to pay for the air conditioning.
One-stop shopping. That's why that exists.
Some of the debate is political posturing, of course. Look beyond the sniping on social media, and there's a broad agreement in France that air conditioning is necessary in spaces such as retirement homes, hospitals, and schools, which I do think most of those places do have them. But, sadly, more than 1,800 schools have had to close in the worst of July's heat wave in France. Few people are clamoring for a cooling unit in every home. Miss Agnes Pannier-Ronchier, France's environmental minister, recently told reporters, air conditioning is not black and white. We need air conditioning to give vulnerable people some respite, but we mustn't do it everywhere. Of course, this is a common European collective thinking, right? This is all socialist, very socialist thinking, right? We can make public spaces safe for everyone to be cooled down. You individually getting an air conditioning unit, that is very environmentally irresponsible. I have to agree as a socialist myself. Much of Southern Europe now experiences more than 2 months each year when their daily highly temperatures exceed the 29.4 degree Celsius, which is, I know, not that hot for people in Arizona, but very hot for people living in houses made out of brick, okay? Brick does not breathe as well as wood. That's all I've got to say there. Madrid has had an average 63 days.
The other day.
We can, let me finish the article and then we can have your tangent.
Okay.
An average of 63 days in Spain is above 29.4 degrees Celsius in recent years, up from the 29 days. So they've gotten doubled the amount of days that are over 29 degrees Celsius. In many places, the heat is not just long-term lasting, also more intense. 40 years ago, temperatures in Madrid rarely climbed above 32. But in the past 5 years, a typical summer has included days with 40 days above 32. 40 days! 1.5 months of just don't go outside. Siesta is 5 hours long today. Whether cultural resistance or to air conditioning in France will persist in such a condition remains to be seen. Perhaps no one displays that ambivalence more than Mr. Christian Meyer, the head of the company near Strasbourg that installs air conditioning units. Despite having vested interest in promoting air conditioning, he was recently quoted in a local newspaper as saying that he was not a fan and that he did not use it himself. Yes, I sell air conditioners, but I don't think you should all start installing them. The best air conditioning is a well-insulated house, he was quoted as saying. For now, as the arguments continue, the government official heat-related advice takes a middle road of sorts. Air conditioning is on the list of options to keep cool, but the guidelines warn that is the solution that should be considered only after all options have been exhausted. Catherine Porter contributed to reporting this from Paris. Okay, what was your story, if you even remember it anymore?
Oh, no, I was talking to Dwayne. You remember Dwayne? I used to work with him in El Paso.
Your best friend.
I was talking to him the other day. Not my best friend, but a friend. And I was like, oh, well, how hot is it there? It's El Paso. Oh, it's not bad today, 105. You can say that in El Paso. You can say it in El Paso because it's a dry heat. Dry heat. Yeah. Okay, sorry. And your haiku. Oh, by the way, I had an alliteration headline written for this in advance. You want to hear that first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Holy heat wave, Huguenots. Anyway, because Huguenots are famously from France. Here's your haiku. One hot summer day, France melted into one blob. Consume more carbon. That's the answer. Our answer is to make it worse. Great on. Hey, humans, we win. We win logic every time.
Woo! And for anyone who wants the approximation, that's 40 degrees Celsius in El Paso. So, but yet again, it's a dry heat. So, the only dry heat I think you can find, I don't know if you can find any dry heat actually in Europe because, of course, you got the Mediterranean, which is next to a giant lake.
Greece. I will say Greece when we were there.
Dry? Okay.
Oh,
October?
Reminded me of Southern California. It was exactly the same climate.
Greece in October is the exact same as Southern California. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Southern Greece in November. That's when we were there, right?
It was October. Yeah. We left in November.
October, okay. Okay, fall in the autumn.
Yeah.
And Greece is the same as what I experienced living in Southern California for 7 years. And I was looking for brush fires everywhere.
Where's the fires? Well, lucky while we were there was no fires, I think. There might have been one.
Yeah, there was after
else.
We left. Yeah. I was definitely careful not to set any sparks.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we'll spin the wheel and get on with my...
Time to get to the our first interactive list here. I'm going to
we'll see how this works. May last too long. We got probably 5 seconds of each track, maybe, until you...
I'll come up with a hypothetical about something. I'll try to think of a hypothetical.
Oh, wow. You can spin again. I would spin again if I was you. That seems...
Okay, let's see if we get reminds me of a song.
That would be too easy then.
It's going to land on that. Watch. It's landing on reminds me of a song. I'm not even lying.
Is it? Okay, that works.
Maybe it'll remind me of a song I think should be on the list from my non-classical TV shows.
Although, but some of these actually do have lyrics, but not for the TV show, so that's my qualifier. But,
so it plays the jingle of it.
Yeah, the beginning of the show. As the show comes on the air, you're sitting there with your popcorn and your snacks, and you've used the bathroom, and you brushed your teeth, and you put the kids to bed, and you're sitting there going, my show's coming on. I mean, this is old-timey stuff. This stuff don't exist anymore. Right? You watch whatever you want, whenever you want. I get it. But, and a lot of people, and I do this too, if I'm binge watching a show, I skip right over the theme. I go right into the show. But a lot of times, if it's a good theme song, I'm there, man. I'm reading it. I don't even need my glasses for this. Well, yes, I do, because I got to read the composers' names. So number one on our list, and I don't know, this one is from the show called The Rockford Files. But James Garner was the host, and the author of this is Mike Post. Mike Post was author of a lot of theme songs. So if you're playing it, I can't hear it. I'm not sure if I can hear it.
What I'll do is I will play it after you finish talking about it. All
right, so this is composed by Mike Post, and it features the great Larry Carlton. So there you go. The great jazz guitarist. Don't know if I hear it or not, but are you playing it? Did you play it? Yo.
I played 15 seconds.
Are we?
There you go.
15? Okay, really? That's a lot, huh? Okay.
I just wanted to wait for the synth to come in because there's like a nice synth melody there at the beginning.
Right. Our number 2 on our list was written for a movie, but the movie turned into a television show, and they just took the theme from the movie, got rid of the lyrics, and played the music for it. And the song and the movie and the TV series is called MASH. And the actual name of the song is called Suicide is Painless, which you can't imagine anybody playing that on the radio. Hey, everybody, here's that top 40 hit we're all been asking for. Suicide is Painless. So I have no listeners anymore. They all killed themselves. So, no, the lyrics are depressing as hell. So the music is good, so you can play it now. The MASH theme. Composed by John Mandel.
I can see why it's called that. That's why that's the title.
Yeah. This one
does sound like something you would just like do a suicide.
Right. Exactly, dude. It's about death. I mean, it's war and death.
Yeah,
war
that's
is not
definitely what
about
was happening back then.
Just people getting blown apart. And number 3 on our list is from another Rockford Files was a private eye. I forgot to mention that. Another private eye and another composer who's appearing twice on this list. Henry Mancini wrote the theme to a show called Peter Gunn. Peter Gunn was a private eye. It was also featured in the Blues Brothers. You might recognize it from that. But it was Henry Mancini and his orchestra. Peter Gunn hit it.
Got a bit of an intro.
Oh yeah, it's nice. You can play it for the whole deal.
Oh, nice bass line, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everyone knows this one. Pink Panther.
Right.
Don't they use it for that?
Right. Well, no. Nope. Oh, nope. Next list. Did you play it already?
Yeah, sorry. I was playing for a little bit longer because that intro was very quiet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very famous horn line.
Yeah.
Something
See,
trumpets in band
listening.
class learned the first time playing the trumpet, I think.
This one I can play on banjo. The very next one. This is composed by Quincy Jones. It's the Sanford and Son theme, and I probably could be high. I mean, these aren't ranked in necessarily in the order, but again, this is another one of those theme songs. It's like, yeah, I'm listening to the theme song. I'm not skipping to the show. Sanford and Son theme, composed by Quincy Jones and performed by Tommy Madigan or something like that. Can't read his name. Hit it.
Another good bass line.
And then I get my banjo out and go. Yeah, I know it did. It's actually kind of fun to listen to. And the one you just mentioned a couple seconds ago.
Oh, shit, I didn't even see it on the list. Yeah.
Henry Mancini was also, like MASH, was composed for a movie, Pink Panther, starring Peter Sellers. And, of course, the Pink Panther turned to a cartoon about an actual Pink Panther.
Who got into hijinks, kind of a clumsy guy. Right?
What are your more acid trip type cartoons of the 60s and 70s? The Pink Panther. Hit it. Henry Mancini and his orchestra.
That's why they sounded so familiar, because it's the same guy who made both.
Yeah, same composer. He loves him a saxophone, too. Look at that. The saxophone's a star, this one.
Jazzy.
And our next one is one you can whistle to, and I can whistle to it. It's the Andy Griffith theme. It's composed by Frank Hagen. Of course, it features Ronnie Howard and Andy Griffith fishing as they whistle. I don't know if whistling is picked up by this.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but you can hear it because here's the Andy Griffith theme. As everybody remembers that. He's just like, oh boy, look at there's his dad and his kid, and they're fishing, and it's Mayberry, USA.
Isn't the song always used for like erectile dysfunction? Look, he's happy now because he can get an erection.
Maybe that's. It might be for some other medication, sure. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. There's always something where somebody's like whistling down like, I'm happy music. Now.
I think you're associating whistling with these kinds of commercials, and that's kind of
maybe, I don't know.
I don't think the specific song has anything to do with it. I don't know. I mean, I don't watch enough commercials to even.
No,
I
me
know
either.
what you're talking about. Oh, it's Zempic commercials and stuff like that.
Really?
Everybody, that kind of thing. Yeah, I understand that. The only ones I remember Cialis commercials are the old couple, and they're in their own tub, each in their own individual tubs, and they're outdoors looking at the mountains, and that's supposed to be commercial for erectile dysfunction. And like, they're not having sex, and they're both in opposite bathtubs, and they're not.
I don't understand.
What is this commercial about? I don't understand the commercial. That's what it makes you do? Put a bathtub outside? That seems highly impractical. Anyway, our next is after Andy. We're almost done. Another one that doesn't have any lyrics from the 60s, My Three Sons. And this one was composed by Frank LeBoy. And you could hit it with the My Three Sons theme because it's kind of a cool little song. It was a funny little show. My Three Sons.
Oh, nice trumpet intro.
Mm-hmm.
You can really tell these are classical, like even the music. How the music is made is like a very classical. Okay.
I know it very well. You're all stuck in my head from being a kid because when I was a kid, you're just sitting there like this on the TV, like this far. This is the TV. This is me. Right? I want to see the whole screen, all of it, the whole tube.
And that's why you have ADHD as an adult.
That's why. No, that's why I had
all those neurons getting
myopia
active.
as a child.
Oh, okay.
That's why I had myopia as a child. I could not see far distances. I could read books and I could see the TV.
That's all I needed to do.
Put a wall. All right. Next one is the Bob Newhart Show, the first original Bob Newhart Show. Their second theme song was kind of boring. This one was jazzy. It was written by the Bob Newhart Show. Let's do this one. The Bob Newhart Show was written by Lorenzo Molly and Harriet Music. Lorenzo Music and Harriet Music. I don't know if those are companies or the names of the people, but it's a pretty cool name if you're a composer. Bob Newhart Show. Hit it. It starts with the ring of a phone.
Yeah.
Great.
A nice subtle track.
Let me know when it's done, because I am clueless.
I'm good. Nice trumpet track.
We're still in classic. All right, on the next on our list, we're still in classic TV, but this show is actually still on the air.
It refuses to go off air, I would argue. Fuck you guys, we're staying on air.
Written by Danny Elfman of Oingo Boingo wrote this song. Danny Elfman also is Mr. What's your name? 30 Rock. I can't think of anybody's name.
Danny Elfman, also the composer of every emo kid's favorite movies.
There you go. All. Tons and tons and tons of movies.
If you grew up in the 2000s or 2010s, you probably know Danny Elfman's music.
I want to say Liz Lemon. I can't think of the actress's name. Anyway, 30 Rock.
Yeah.
30 Rock actress. He's married to her. Very
really?
famous
I didn't know that.
My kid. Now I just have to look it up because I feel stupid. I can't think of it.
Well, while you're looking it up, let's listen to the title.
Yeah. Tina Fey. Jeez, why am I so stupid?
Technically, it has lyrics, but only at the beginning. So it counts. Still counts.
Yeah, that's just an intro. I mean, Bob Newhart says hello at the beginning of Bob Newhart too. Alright. Okay, my next. Did you finish it? Or no? People know
it's really hard to stop some of these because you want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
It feels wrong to be like, wait, you didn't finish the whole song.
Simpsons has been around since like '89. That just seems impossible. Our next on our list is a show that started not long after The Simpsons called Northern Exposure. And let's see, I got notes for this one. That was written by David Schwartz and performed by David Schwartz. And it's about a show and it's about a show in Alaska.
Yes.
But the theme song is kind of Caribbean sounding. So go ahead and play it.
Going on a vacation to Alaska.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, very islander.
Sicily,
yeah.
Sicily, you think of an island, but you don't think of a Caribbean island. You think of a Mediterranean island. Our next on the list, I think this is number 12 because I'm towards the bottom.
No, number 11 actually.
Well, number 11 was Northern Exposure?
No, number 10 was Northern Exposure, so you're on number 11.
Oh, okay. Right on. Number 11, Mission Impossible. You know this movie. Before there was a movie, it was a TV show, and it featured
with completely different actors. None of the same people,
right,
I think.
Featuring Peter Graves, Leonard Nimoy was on the original Mission Impossible. After he was Spock, he went to So, Mission Impossible theme song was written by Lalo Schifrin, and it features a fuse burning down, and it's about secret agencies and spies and shit, so hit it.
Spies and shit. Oh yeah, you can tell this is like an older recording.
That's
got that lo-fi sound.
Oh yeah, I want to find the original where they didn't add a lot of frills. I hate frills in music. Don't you hate unnecessary stuff in music? I do. I just think, why did they have to add all that noise? Just give me some music.
All right, stop playing it.
Things that
you talked through the whole thing, but I stopped. I played it.
Cool. You played it. That's right. Love the Mission Impossible. Number 12 is the Tonight Show theme.
I did not know that had a theme song.
Oh yeah, Paul Anka and Johnny Carson, the star of the show, are credited with being authors of The Tonight Show. Hit it. Go on. Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra played this every night for 30 years.
Oh, I guess this is what they play after like the intro when they say, "Welcome to The Tonight Show," and then they do this thing. This is The Tonight Show.
Absolutely start. As soon as you click that switch, it's The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. Tonight's guest, and it's playing while he's announcing.
Yeah.
And now here's Johnny, and they continue to play it, and they play it louder with the trumpets and everything, right?
And then he walks out and he's dancing or whatever.
And it always ends with shaving a haircut too big. That's the end of it every time. You know it's over.
All right, our last one.
You were in for some terrible jokes. And so next, the theme from Barney Miller. Theme from Barney Miller, composed by. Wait a minute, got it here. Alan Fuguin and Jack Elliott. I don't know if it's Ramblin' Jack Elliott, but play it anyway.
I also want to point out this is supposedly on the album Cocaine Nation. So use with that what you will.
Right on. Yeah, it's a remake, this one here, I believe. So anyway, I don't think Ramblin' Jack Elliott is
another great bass line. They really like the bass line intro, right? Like starting with the bass and putting in some other instrument. We can just play this whole thing. It's 48 seconds long. And it's the last one.
Yeah, it's great. All these are good. Wouldn't you agree? Pretty good. But of course, I had to have qualifiers because you want to use other songs, but you look them up and say it wasn't written for the show specifically.
No.
And it's on 5 other shows.
Yeah. Oh, these were all ever used on one show, maybe specifically. Some of them were just tracks that got licensed, I guess, for other things.
Some of them, yeah. And some of them became hit songs, and some hit songs that were not even on this list, like the theme to Hill Street Blues was a hit song for Mike Post, the same guy that wrote. But it's very boring. The Hill Street Blues theme, it's boring. It's just piano. Dim dim dim, dim dim dim, dim dim dim. It just doesn't go anywhere. But it was a hit. I don't know. Mike Post had a lot of hits. He had a hit for Magnum PI too. That had to be left off the list. I had to make cuts. I cut Magnum PI. Sorry. So there's your list.
What a shame.
Where's your remind you?
I was trying to the whole time. I was trying to think if there's any shows from my growing up that were like this. But I think for a lot of these shows, right, they had lyrics. I don't know why. Right, a lot of them have lyrics. I can't even think of an anime that maybe didn't even have lyrics. I think even because the thing with anime, right, is that it is songs that are made by real artists. They're not just made only for the show. So
I think people got lazy at some point and just stopped commissioning songs. It was easier to license them. Hey, CSI needs 3 new theme songs. Let's call up Pete Townsend. He's for sale. And Pete said, "Hell yeah, give me a couple, Mel, and you can use them all you want."
I know one. Law and Order. That had no lyrics.
No? Okay, Law and Order.
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know how it goes right now, but I feel like I don't remember hearing any words. Like the original, I mean, the guy goes, this is based off of blah, 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 blah. Whatever thing. Yeah, I guess Law and Order is still kind of a classic TV show.
Gilmore Girls, I was listening to the theme the other day, is Carole King's song.
Really? Oh.
So, yeah. Golden Girls is Thank You for Being a Friend, which is the top 10 hit.
That was a very famous track.
Thank You for Being a Friend.
Let me see. What does the Law and Order song sound like?
There's a song it reminded you of.
Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's completely no lyrics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
there you go.
That's like the background music to everybody's life. If you had a TV.
But there you go. Reminds me of the Law and Order theme song, which I think probably for me was the show I watched as a child, just in the background, and heard the Law and Order theme song all the time.
First half of the show you had the crime investigation, and the second half of the show you had the trial, and everything was wrapped up in an hour. Yeah.
Did 90, what was the name of that show? 901 902.0? What was 90210?
90210 Beverly Hills.
Did that have a theme song?
Yeah, they all had theme songs. It just
I can't remember what it is.
If you played it for me, I could understand it. Dallas had a good theme song.
I'm looking it up, and I'm hoping it's the song.
We're dragging this show into the mud here.
Yeah.
Let's look into this rabbit hole of theme songs.
I have no idea. I don't think it had a theme song, but those are and I guess the OC, basically all the TV shows my mom was watching, because I wasn't allowed to have her have the remote and watch my shows. Probably are the shows.
I'll start a new list with ones with lyrics, because I remember the Gary Shandling show was funny, because that's all he's saying. This is the Gary Shandling show. The Gary show. That was the theme. But it was it was great. It was one of Fox's original shows. They canceled it because it was too funny. People didn't get it, so.
This is okay.
People didn't get it. I don't get it. It's making a great thing.
What show am I watching? Right. Okay, our next segue from you will be sarcasm, as we talk about.
All right.
Time's first ever 10 Young Girls of the Year, specifically young girls. I don't know what a young girl is. I think most girls are young. I don't know any old girls, but I think calling women girls is diminutive, so that's why I'm making this joke.
Is this supposed to remind me of a song?
No, sarcasm. And this is the first ever Girls of the Year on Time Magazine in My Culture News by Sarah Mayansoni. She's the one reporting on it on Euronews Culture. The US-based publication honors 10 extraordinary young leaders between ages of 12 and 17 from various fields, including music, science, and sports. I would argue that these are old girls. Young girls for me is like 2-year-olds. Old girls, 12 to 17. Once you turn 18, you are now a woman, okay? No girls allowed.
Yeah. Let's go back to eliminating childhood.
Yeah, just let's get rid of it. Time Magazine, known for its annual celebrations of the world's most remarkable individuals, has published its first ever Girls of the Year list. Today, the magazine has honored 10 extraordinary young leaders between the age 12 and 17 who are inspiring communities around the world. The initiative celebrates and amplifies the voices of inspiring young women who are building the future and turning imagination into impact, Time said in a statement. Amongst the honorees is a 15-year-old French singer, Zoe Clazure, who won the 23 Junior Eurovision Song Contest with her anti-bullying pop anthem, Cour. In 24, it hasn't been 2027 yet, I've gone into the future. Clausure became the youngest ever ambassador for peace at the Nonviolence Project, a nonprofit dedicated to promoting peace. How very French of her. This also distinguishes Mexican racing driver Ivana Richards, who at 17 hopes to one day compete in the male-dominated Formula One. In the meantime, Richards takes part in a Mexican racing series, and she participated in a test drive for female-only F1 Academy Championships in 2024. Other Girls of the Year include 12-year-old scientist Claire Prosch. Claire Prosch, she's from Germany. 17-year-old Polish scientist Cornelia Wyzorek, and Japanese skateboarder Koko Yoshizawa, 15, who won a gold medal at the 24 Paris Olympics. These girls are part of a generation that's reshaping what leadership looks like today, said Time senior editor Dana Sarkisova. Their generation understands that change doesn't require waiting for adulthood. It starts with seeing problems and refusing to accept them as permanent. The Girls of the Year list was made in partnership with the Lego Group. That explains why the cover of the Time magazine they're all in Legos. I was really confused why they were Lego figurines. Like, why did they make them Lego figurines? Yeah, they're advertising. Thanks to Lego. Yeah. The company launched its...
doing product placement on the cover.
Hell yeah. The company launched its She Built That campaign in June to fight sexist stereotypes and empower little girls. That's right. Women have actually established and invented many things that we use today, but men took credit for them. Yay! Lego found that 70% of all parents feel girls still lack visible female role models who build the world, according to a survey on more than 30,000 parents and children in 21 countries. Yeah, I love when people say, why are all women materialistic and looking for men who have a lot of money? And it's because they're taught that that's what they're supposed to do. They have no visible role models that are like, oh wait, I can just become a businesswoman and invent things and create things that better society. I don't know anybody who looks like that. In addition to its Person of the Year feature, Time regular honors influential people through its Time 100 list. In 2019, the magazine released 89 covers to celebrate 100 women from 1920 to the current era. Which makes sense, 100 years of, 100 years, 100 women. Since 22, Time has also awarded Women of the Year title to several women from various fields here. The 25 list includes Nicole Kidman, gymnast Jordan Chills, and sexual assault survivor Giselle Pellicot, which has been famous all year for, finding out her husband was pimping her out and drugging her. So there are your 10 extraordinary young leaders who happen to have been born girls, I think. They didn't say whether or not there are any trans people in here, and I don't expect there are, because it's such a contentious issue that people would probably yell, right? That's not a girl! They were born a boy! You can't put them on your list! Whatever.
My first initial sarcasm.
Young girls who I would consider old girls. List of extraordinary leaders, all in science and in sports and then, of course, in pop culture. Give me some sarcasm.
Yes. Sarcasm is the first one I thought at the beginning. It's like, young girls. Oh, Donald Trump has entered the chat. But my next sarcasm is sometimes. What?
It's so bad it's good joke right there.
I know. Sometimes he's first of their, I'm the first this, I'm going into a man-dominated field. They end up being actual Stockholm syndrome, I call it, right?
Really?
You ever heard of this? Yeah, there used to be a military school, there still is, in South Carolina, but they used to allow only men. And one year they mistakenly admitted someone named Shannon Faulkner, and she turned out to be a woman, and they tried to say, hey, you can't apply here. And she said, hey, you know what? I'm going to push this.
Yeah.
And she did, and she won. But she had to leave. She had to leave because of harassment. She got constantly harassed. In fact, I actually know somebody. Know somebody that went to the Citadel at the time who was part of the harassers, one of the harassers.
Really? And did you punch him in the face?
No, I haven't seen him since he was a little kid, but I know who he is.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend's little brother went to the Citadel. He went
really?
to the Citadel.
And harassed this poor woman who was trying to make a point.
1995 class, and then she dropped out. But my point is...
And this is exactly why it's hard for women to say, oh, I can do this, because you get harassed out. Yeah. But your point?
My point is the Stockholm Syndrome, because the actual first woman to graduate the Citadel was somebody named Nancy Mace, and I think you might have heard of her. She's a right-wing fascist congressperson now. Hey!
Wow,
she's a big old Trumper, down on her knees, kissing that ring every day.
I mean, sadly, right, if you are entering a field where you're the minority, you have to make a choice. You either just push through it very stubbornly and, fuck the haters, or you do get down on your knees and say, oh, please, everyone like me. I'll please anyone so that you'll accept me into your group. So,
right.
At least for me, that's
another
just
case
two
of
options.
Stockholm. Have you ever heard of Danica Patrick? She's another case of Stockholm Syndrome. She tried to crash the NASCAR party, and of course she got her, the same treatment as you get anybody that's just new in any kind of field.
Yeah.
Got the same treatment. Ridiculed.
Yeah, well, her father, wasn't her father or brothers or something already in NASCAR?
No, nothing to do with his father. No, absolutely nothing.
I thought it was a family. I thought there was a family thing, but I guess it was...
Yeah, there's lots of that. But that's beside my point. My point is she turns into a Trumpster last year. I'm like, you're totally have no self-awareness. You want you're out there championing women's rights in one case, but you're like, fuck it, who cares about women's rights? So again, Stockholm Syndrome, she adapted to her surroundings just to get along and just decided that she wasn't going to fight anymore.
It was the right thing.
And I have I'm just going to be this little thing that everybody wanted me to be in the first place. So
very disappointing.
That was my long diatribe. Sarcasm about how some people are just disappointing, and you're on their side, and then they're not even on their side.
Yeah.
It turns out. Okay.
You know what? Actually, I am special, and no woman can ever be like me, and the men were right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You're right. Women can't do this, and I'm just special.
I am just the queen. That's who I am. Yeah. I'm special.
I'm special. I'm built different. I'm built different.
I'm a princess. Yep. I'm the one.
Our next segue is Tell a Joke, and we're going to go into This Day in History.
Okay. I think you're thinking of John Force and his daughters. He's a drag racer.
Yeah, that's I think there was a Disney Channel, movie that was about this, right? It's like, Dad, I also want to do that. You can't go in a car really fast for 2 seconds. Why not? I have a foot just like everyone else.
Well, of course, they never got into it. Would have never got any rides anywhere if their dad wasn't already in.
I think it's worse when your dad's against you, right? It's even worse when...
No, Dad was the one that got them rides, and automatically got rides and sponsors. The big thing is getting sponsors, man. You got to pay for that stuff somehow. So, that's why I didn't... Like, when you brought it up, I didn't want to go on that tangent, because it just would have killed everything I was talking about. I can't go on tangents, because what was I just talking about? This day in history! I got to have it in front of me. This day in history. I don't need this. It just reflects light. The first book printed in Europe with a
Printing press?
colophon bearing the name of the printer was completed in Mainz, Germany on this day in 1457.
Wow!
So
That's
before the printing
ages
press, I
ago.
believe.
America didn't even exist. That's how long ago people have been printing books.
Columbus had not been rescued at sea by the natives until 1492. 1900, an international force seized Beijing to crush the Boxer Rebellion, and all those poor little dogs with their faces pushed in had to leave. No, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about this. What does the Boxer refer to? Anyway, it's called the Boxer Rebellion this year in 1900, 125 years ago. 1917, China declared war on Germany and Austria-Hungary during World War I. And I don't remember China sending a big contingent. Do you have that in your notes? They just declared war and said, yep, that's what we did. I don't know. Did they send anybody? Is anybody there? Okay. All right. I'm talking to myself. 1935, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Sorry, I'm downloading the
signed the Social
backdrop
Security
moment,
Act.
so I need to do that before you finish.
U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Social Security Act. Well, it's been a nice run, Social Security. He had 90 years. Establishing a permanent national, it says permanent, it says it right here,
Yep.
permanent national old age pension system through employer and employee contributions. It says permanent, you can't get rid of it. It's like, never try to throw you a permanent marker? You can't. In 1941, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued a Atlantic Charter. Roosevelt was full of issuing stuff for this day. He like, it's a good day to issue stuff. August 14th, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued a Atlantic Charter, a joint declaration that stated, among other points, that desired no territorial changes without a free assent of the peoples concerned. At least Churchill and Roosevelt were behind that. Nobody else. 1947, Pakistan became a sovereign state, bringing an end to the British rule there. In 1959, Magic Johnson was born. Yeah, American basketball player Magic Johnson, Irvin Magic Johnson. He did have a given name. His mom didn't name him Magic. Irvin Johnson, who led the National Basketball Association Los Angeles Lakers to 5 championships. He was born in Lansing, Michigan. 1994, Venezuelan militant Carlos the Jackal, who orchestrated some of the highest profile terrorist attacks in the 1970s and 80s, was captured by French agents in Sudan. He was later sentenced to life in prison for his crimes. There's a famous book and movie called Day of the Jackal. It's about an assassin. 2004, Polish-born poet, essayist, and critic Czesław Miłosz, who is considered one of the major poets of the 20th century and won the 1980 Nobel Prize for Literature, died at the age of 93 on this day, August 14th. 2016, Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt won the 100 meters at the Rio de Janeiro Games, becoming the first person to win the 3 consecutive Olympics. He later won it in a 4th consecutive. Oh no, he later claimed a unprecedented 3rd straight gold medal in the 200 meters. So I think he won it also in 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not for sure. But he became first person to win it in 3. That means he won it in 08 and in 12 and in 16. The fastest human. Jamaica is really good at sprinting, and they're the best sprinters in the world. United States usually in there too. August 14th, featured event is 1880. The Cologne Cathedral was completed in 1880. Originally started in 1240, construction of the cathedral of the Kölner Dom in Cologne, Germany, the largest Gothic church in Northern Europe and the city's major landmark, was finally completed 432 years later. So they had a little trouble with the contractors. They hired Trump. And he didn't pay the contractors, and I said, "Oh God, we got to go through this again." So it took him a while. There's your anachronistic history for me. They had a Trump contractor in those days, just like him. Halle Berry's birthday today, American actress.
Woo!
Happy birthday, Halle Berry. Born in this day in 1966. She's turned 59. She's almost a grown-up. Almost 60. In Cleveland, Ohio, she was born. Happy birthday, Halle Berry. And she's my age, so she's definitely in my swinging range. I'm definitely, she's definitely got a hankering for a guy like me. No doubt about it. Anyway, other birthdays today.
Totally. You have a chance.
American actor and writer, it says for Steve Martin. I know him as a comedian and a banjo player. Steve Martin's birthday. Steve Martin turned 70 today. I'm sorry, 80. 80. Steve Martin, 80 years old.
Wow.
Jesus, where does time go? And he's had white hair since he was 36, I believe.
Relatable.
So, yeah. Happy birthday to Steve Martin. Actually, he might have been younger. But I did send you a video of him before he had white hair. So those were the days. I think he got scared one day. That can happen. Danielle Steele's birthday, writer of several zillion novels. Born in 1947. It's also Stanley McChrystal, U.S. General, born in 1954. Magic Johnson we covered. Halle Berry we covered. National Day calendar. National Day. It's National Creamsicle Day. National Navajo Code Talkers. We're the National Code Talkers. Well, here we go with that. We had to be able to talk to each other in World War II, the Allies, without the Germans listening in. That's impossible. We couldn't prevent them from listening in, so we'd have to talk in code. And since Navajos had no written language, nobody could decipher their words. So they would put a Navajo at one end of the radio, another Navajo at the other end of the radio, and they would talk to each other in Navajo and decode it to English on the other end. And that's what the Navajo Code Talkers helped win the war. They are war heroes. And of course, we put them on reservations and ignored them. So they're
still alive. There's a lot of people out there think all the Native Americans are just dead somewhere and buried in a graveyard.
Southwestern culture has not died thanks to the natives of that region, right? They've passed down their culture because they live in places you don't necessarily want to live. Way the hell out in the desert. So there's your days, your mispronunciations, your long stories, your list, everything for August 14th, 2025 on Before Creamsicle.
Of course, I have a joke that I stole from Steve Martin. Here it is.
Right on.
I love money. I love everything about it. I bought some pretty good stuff. Got me a $300 pair of socks. Got a fur sink, electric dog polisher, a gasoline-powered turtleneck sweater, and of course, I bought some dumb stuff too. Good one, yeah?
I bought some dumb stuff. Yeah, I remember that one.
A gasoline-powered turtleneck sweater. The most useful thing I've ever bought in my life. Thanks, Steve. Is there any international days today? There are not, so nothing to celebrate here for the rest of the globe. So I guess eat those creamsicles. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we tie up another Thursdays 13. Go listen to, let us know what your favorite TV show theme songs are. They don't have to have lyrics, or they can, whatever. Just share it with us. Don't forget, if you are not already following or subscribed, and turn on those notifications so you know when we go live for tomorrow's Friday News Dump. We're going to finish off all the news you need to know this week. So you don't have to worry about it over the weekend. You can have a nice time at the beach. You can cool down in the water, cool down at the pool. Do whatever you need to do to survive this heat wave if you're living in Europe. And I'm sure it's hot in the United States too. It always is. And here is our Steve Martin mic drop moment.
We happen to be walking through the writer area.
Yes, Steve Martin.
I don't recognize him at all.
Was a writer.
And later
That's not him.
Oh, okay.
That's the show he wrote for.
Oh, okay, so these are his jokes that he wrote.
Tonight and make a few dollars.
They're explaining. Steve's one of our writers. We didn't know he was a comedian too.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, that's him. Yeah.
There's the guy. Nice suit, man. Brown suit, brown hair.
Oh yeah, and there's his iconic brow. That's how I know it's him. His eyebrows.
I'd like to jump right into kind of a
Those do his joke.
Saco Bafo comedy routine. This has really been a big one for me. It's
Funny,
one that
right?
kind of put me where I am today. I'd like to start right off. This is
Oh yeah,
really
he
a good one.
always used a lot of props.
Fabulous
That was his
glove
thing.
into dove trick.
Maybe that's why he got so famous, because of the props. Ah, darn.
The napkin trick.
I don't think I've seen this.
He's already laughing at his own joke. He did a little smirk before he did that. I saw it.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That'll be coming out on a record pretty soon. Down to the big one.
Here we
The one
go.
I call the candle trick. Uses
A
candle.
candle trick.
Steve Martin developing his act live on television.
Drum roll, please.
Don't even know if these.
Drum roll is already playing. Asked it to be louder. He has to hold his arm out because he can't bend it because the stick's in the way. He just cracked it.
Probably wondering what this is. This is the Chinese Mystery Pagoda Box of the Dead. That's what it is.
I'm glad I could introduce it to you.
Goodie.
He picks it up off the large.
This is
Must
disgusting.
insist on your absolute silence during the course of this next trick.
Be mystified. He.
I think it was
Now, ladies and
22 at
gentlemen,
this time. So 22.
The toilet float trick.
Oh no.
He keeps throwing his props away.
The Mystic Oriental lighting, please. Much better. The Mystic Oriental music.
It's already playing.
Oh, wisdom, virtue, beauty, truth, art, nature, certainty, courage, justice, freedom, God, and immortality. Oh, infinite self of being beyond one's own true pragmatic metaphysics.
Just look at his hair being like, go that way, his head, go that way.
That looks obscene.
Must have disappeared.
Where's it going? Come back!
Cool it! Return! Return! Return!
It's not going back.
Return, you fool! It's headed for the John!
He's just running through the crowd, chasing his ball.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.